this up here. Let me make it.
Garden of Ban 2 Electric Boogaloo. What the hell?
Was that like the name of it?
No, one of the people that I'm sub to named their fucking video that.
Okay, so all right. Let's see if the stream is working. Let's go.
All right, all right. Let's see, let's see. Mike the creator.
All right,
Yep, it's live.
I'm gonna like turn the dark revival volume down. This is what's gonna be playing in the background. So we're gonna continue the game. You know, like okay. So let's talk about Bendy.
All right. Ooh,
Um,
hold up. Let me put this on Twitter real quick so that way we can get a good amount of people watching it.
yeah.
I was waiting for you to do the live stream so I can copy the link.
Okay. There we go. All right. So
All right.
come on. But yeah, this
Ooh.
is Bendy.
Hey, Mike, you might want to push the video up a bit in OBS
Yeah,
because it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
split screen.
yeah. I know. Right here. Oh, or this. There you go. I'm sorry, y'all. My OBS is kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Do you okay? Remember this spot from the trailer from like
Yeah, yeah.
2019? It was like right here, or like no,
Hmm.
she was like facing this way, and she had like a heart in her hand. You know,
Yeah.
it's just weird, like seeing, like recognizing the areas, but at the same time, you know, you don't really recognize the areas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's that's a video that I'm planning to make in the future. Just a bunch of talking about a bunch of scrap stuff in Benny and the Dark Bible because there's like so much stuff that has been scrapped. Almost like, how BioShock Infinite is, where it was in development hell, and then all of a sudden they finally created a game, but the game was more of a bunch of concepts put together
Mm-hmm.
more than an actual game with a direction because there's so much scrap stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting to think about. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, there at one point it was gonna be similar to the first two Bioshock games. You know,
Yeah.
but um, they decided to go with they they rethinked it and decided to go with a more open world route.
Yeah.
But all right,
Am I the only one? Uh, yo, what's up, Pirate Canvas? Am I the only one that prefers Benny and the Dark Revival's 2020 style over like the actual style that we got now? Like, I appreciate the actual style, but I don't know. There's just maybe I'm blinded by nostalgia, but there's just something about the 2020 style that just hits, you know?
all right. Hold on, I had to make I'm sorry, I had to make Pirate Canvas moderator.
Gotcha, gotcha.
But so yeah, I know what you mean. It's like when I first saw the gameplay trailer in 2019,
Mm,
like the one from June of 2019, I envisioned okay, so this is kind of like what I saw for like the full chapter 1. I kind of saw it taking place in a decrepit chapter 5 like area. You know what I mean? It was going to like pick up right after chapter 5. That's just kind of like what I envisioned in my mind. You know what I'm saying? And the main enemies were going to be searchers and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is not that good. Hold on.
okay, it's back. It's back. It's fine.
But yeah. But yeah, that's just kind of like what I envisioned for like Bendy and the Dark Revival when I like saw the gameplay for the first time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't know. They ended up changing it like so many times,
Yeah.
and the style now is good. But there's something about Benny and the Dark Revival that many people don't notice that I notice. Maybe I'm tripping or something, but it kind of gives off.
Oh, you cut off. Hold on. Yeah, my duck. Hold on. Yo, IHS, you there? Your microphone keeps like cutting
King
off.
Amok. What's the dude name? The cultist. I know it's Amok, something Amok.
Yeah,
Um,
Lord Amok, I think.
Lord Amok, yeah. So basically, if you look at the drawings, Lord Amok is like a spider or whatever, right?
Mhm.
And it's weird how they have like an actual spider boss fight, which I'm assuming was supposed to be Lord Amok at one time in the beginning,
Yeah.
only for it just to be scrapped to this Lost One boss fight, which I can't even call it a boss fight. So I feel like that should have been flipped, but it's just a lot of scrap things about the game that I don't know, just feel a little out of place.
You know, I have a feeling. You know that. So there, I have a feeling like at one point in time, I feel like there's, or like at one point in time, the fourth Butcher Gang member wasn't a ghost, but rather a duck. But people
Mm,
just caught on, and you know, when they were like, and because they saw like Edgar's duck, and they were like,
yeah.
"Nah, we can't have this. People are gonna know. People are gonna see this. They're gonna catch on to this. They're gonna spoil the game. So we have to surprise them. You know what I'm saying? That's I feel like that's what the fourth member was supposed to be.
Which is kind of lame, which is something a lot of indie games in general do nowadays. Is that whenever they, oh my god, bro, that jump scare gets me every time.
I
But
know.
because I don't know. It's like it's scripted, but it gets me every time because I expect it to like open a door. Nothing will ever fucking happen to me, but that little shitter just comes out.
Yeah.
But a lot of indie horror games specifically do this. It's like when they come up with a good story that people could predict, they think just because it's easy to predict means that it's a bad story.
Yeah.
It's not. If it's just true if it's characters. If a character is easy to predict and theorize about, that just means you did a good thing because you added details and all that stuff and people could figure it out. But instead they're like, you know what? We're going to scrap it and we're going to do something out of the ordinary. And now it's kind of like a kick in the face to
Yeah.
everybody that actually took the time to theorize it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it was a good. You know, I feel like you know one thing. Okay, this is something a bunch of people um said to me on Twitter when okay, you know that one music video I did for Advocate Music called Desolate Hallway?
Yeah.
So some people said that they like the concepts in Desolate Hallway better than the ones in the actual game. And it's like I can kind of see why because there's like more enemy concepts, there's more variety, you know. I feel like,
Yeah.
you know, like I wish there was like more than just lost ones attacking us. I wish there was like other inky amalgamations attacking us. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of which,
Hmm.
um, also here's a fun fact: Big Steve is actually called Lurker in the game files.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So I think they got that for the community, which I'm happy about. But anywho,
Hmm.
basically, I think Lurker was supposed to be a boss,
Yeah.
which I don't know why they. I mean, I do like the fact how they kind of made him friendly because it's like reverse of expectations.
Yeah. Yeah,
But he would have been so fucking cool as a boss because he's just big, inky, and scary. Something we never really had in the original Benny and the Ink Machine. Like we need more just inky amalgamations, just more fucked up inky people.
yeah,
Like Lost Ones, they're cool, but they're too humanoid. We need something that is just indescribable. And Big
yeah.
Steve was perfect for that, but I don't know why they got rid of him.
You know, one enemy type I wish they did was something we almost had in Exit of Death, which would be, it's not really a perfect human, but at the same time, it's still human, but it's just like rotting away, a corrupted employee.
Yeah,
I really,
yeah.
I really wish like towards the end of the game they would introduce corrupted employees. I feel like they really need to like add more variety and stuff. One thing I'm still confused about though, um, is are like so is there only one of each Butcher Gang member or are they clones? They never made that clear.
I think it's one of each because of that one cutscene in the trailer, which they also scrapped. God damn it.
Yeah,
They showed all three butcher gangs kind of like standing right by each other, and we didn't really see multiple of them. So I think it's just one of each butcher gang.
yeah. One thing, um, like if that's the case, then I kind of wish they would add more corrupted cartoon characters. You know what I'm saying? I wish because like I feel like there was like more experiments and stuff that was like never really discussed. So there should be like more corrupted cartoon characters.
They have potential. They have so many characters from like the Ben. Yeah, exactly, Connor. Connor 7. They have so many characters from the Bendy comics that they could have done. They got the freaking fat dude that we all thought that was what's his name, Archgate. No, not
Yeah,
Archgate.
Nathan
What's his
Arch.
name? The dude. Yeah, Nathan Arch. They had that one girl who made the pies for Bendy or whatever. They
Yeah,
had the brute. They had this spinner Stevie Universe looking girl.
Miss
They had the
Twisted.
yeah, Miss Twisted. And I know the camera dude was supposed to be basically projectionist, but they could change up his design a bit. They had they had Boris, right? We'd never seen Boris in Benny and the Dark Revival, which is surprising. Like we got an actual Henry model before fucking Boris of all things,
Well,
right?
actually, Boris is in the game, but it's like he's not a main character. You just kind of see him walking around sometimes.
Walking. Are you talking about like in the beginning, like when we opened the gate
Yeah,
to Heavenly
yeah,
Toys? That was Boris?
yeah. That was Boris.
I thought that was Sammy.
Oh no, it's Boris.
Oh, why would they show? Well, actually, yeah, that's actually funny because since Henry got captured, I'm assuming Henry got captured by the Keepers
Yeah,
during chapter 1 because Henry wasn't there to have Boris travel with him towards Heavenly Toys workshop. He never gets captured by Alice, so he actually lives. So
yeah,
yeah, that's interesting. But also, what happened to dead Borises? That could have been a cool concept, bringing them back as like zombies or whatever.
yeah. I feel like okay. I feel like in 29. So in like sometime in 2019, there was a leaked figure, um, that was a dead Boris that had the Bendy in the Dark Revival logo, and the description was this is a character that you will encounter in Bendy in the Dark Revival, and so it showed and it showed this Boris holding like a toolbox and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of interesting, and it's crazy. Like the Ink Demon too was supposed to be completely different too. He was supposed to hold weapons and stuff, which I
Which would
thought
have
was
been,
interesting.
yeah. I mean, maybe it probably took too much to program, but even then, it's just, wouldn't it be scarier to have like a ink demon, like already they gave him the ability to talk, right? Which
Yeah.
means he has some form of intelligence. So imagine him picking up weapons and doing certain things that we never expected, like an actual freaking ink demon to do. Like we had an animalistic version in Benny and the Ink Machine, but now we have an intelligent version. But I don't know. Maybe they just scrapped that one also. Which why do they scrap a lot of cool things, man?
I don't know. The original Dark Revival, from what I could piece together and stuff, I feel like it was supposed to be 4 times as large as the version that we got. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like there was like supposed to be a little more to it than we initially got, but like because of like all the stuff that's happened, oh man, this part of the game, like the beginning part of the game, it's just like this dude just comes out of nowhere and just attacks Audrey.
The ink demon?
No, I mean it's an angry lost one.
Oh, okay, okay.
He just, I mean, these lost ones, they're like they're crazy, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of lost ones, I kind of wish the combat was so much better. Like the thing I don't understand is that for starters, we already know that Benny. Well, they already know that Benny and Ink Machine combat kind of sucked. So why would they make it the same thing in this game? Like they could have. What one thing that literally could have helped the combat feel so much better is if they did a slow us down while walking backwards. I don't know why games do that. Like humans aren't capable of running backwards at the same speed that they're running. Well, maybe not at the same exact speed, but nobody walks backwards when there's a literal monster right in front of them. So I kind of wish they did that, but also the flow ability, right?
Yeah,
There's no way when you got the flow ability, you did not thought it was also for dodging.
yeah. I mean, honestly, when I first so in remember the old trailer?
Yeah,
Okay, it had like the flowability like flowability symbol on like Audrey's hands, but it wasn't a flow ability. She was literally firing stuff out of. She was literally firing ink out of her hands. Like, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? So I really think like the flow ability was like there was like originally not going to be any flow ability. You know?
yeah. I think they probably scrapped it because it was too much like BioShock. But if you're going to do something BioShock, go all the way so that way it doesn't feel kind of half-assed, you know? I'm not saying Benny and Doug Rivals half-assed. I love the game to death, but I just feel like there could have been so much more added to it.
Yeah. Like, I really was hoping, like in this game, that there would be like, you know, that there would be like cartoon enemies that we could like kill and attack, and they were like common like lost ones. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I really think, if there's ever like an update for like the PC version or a DLC, um, I really hope it adds like new enemy variants.
I mean, honestly, they should honestly just remake Benny and the Ink Machine from like the ground up with Benny and the
Yeah,
Dark Revival assets. Not only to make the game polished and everything, since they actually can, well, I wouldn't say polished because they're building it from the ground up, but since they don't have the source code to the game, since something Rooster Teeth, you know, they took their source. Wait, what the fuck? You can actually open that cabinet?
yeah. I just realized you can. That's
What the fuck? I
all
never
right. We
realized
just made
that.
the kitchen
Yeah,
for
but
yeah,
what's it called? If they rebuild it from the ground up, not only can they make the game feel more fresher, but also they can also fix some of the stories because if you look at Benny and the Dark Revival and Benny and the Ink Machine story, there's a lot of retcons. Like already, speaking of which, this is the only thing I hate about Benny and Dark Rival. Like I don't hate Benny and Dark Rival. Oh look, it's the Meat League. But I don't hate Benny and the Dark Revival or anything. I actually love the game. But the thing that I don't like is how Joy Drew just goes like, "Oh, well, basically, Henry left the studio and I created a version of Henry." So you tell me this whole time it's not Henry inside the ink machine. It's a version of Henry, which means that it's where's the real Henry? So basically, you're telling me that Joey Drew never sacrificed people to the ink machine in the studio, but rather created versions of them and decided to torture them?
Yeah,
Like that don't make any sense. But if you're going to do that to the story, you might as well remake Benny and the Ink Machine and have that storyline in it so that way it's consistent instead of just,
yeah,
because as much as I hate the fact that Jojo did that, I'd rather you make the story consistent based off that storyline than for you to leave it because it's implied in Benny and the Ink Machine that Joey killed the employees. So it's like, huh?
yeah. I mean, like he might have, he might have just he might have
Lied.
not like really killed them, but he might have like taken their consciousness out and put them in these inky bodies, and like there's just like a a moving husk out in the real world. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, it's implied that it requires an actual human body to create something out of ink. I mean, if you look in chapter 5 of Benny and the Dark Revival, Wilson literally
Mm-hmm.
what's it called? He has a machine where it literally like tears apart your body so it can take your soul, whatever. And when Audrey threw Wilson in that, he came out the ink machine as Ship Ahoy Wilson, right? So obviously it's implied that you actually need to kill someone in order for the ink machine to produce an actual cartoon creature.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, imagine if like Joey Drew got pushed into that, instead of like crushed by the ink demon. If he got pushed into that, he might have like turned into you know an ink demon. You know, maybe that's what was supposed to happen, and there was supposed to be like another ink demon that was actually Joey that was gonna fight the actual ink demon. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, if you do think about it, I have the Benny and the Dark Robber keychains. I'm excited to collect all of them before they were gone, but I have majority of them. I think the only one I'm missing is the Ink Demon ones. But you see how there's two Bendys, right? There wasn't the original Bendy that we have in the game, right? The Dapper Bendy, the one with the suit and everything. There was the Ink Demon, and there was the original Benny and the Ink Machine Bendy,
Yeah,
right? The one where he had ink over his eyes or whatever. Um, those two were part of Benny and the Dark Revival, so maybe something was supposed to happen to where either the original Benny transformed into the one that we see in Dark Revival, or maybe there's like two of them or something. I'm not too sure.
yeah,
I mean, actually, your theory might actually be somewhat correct
yeah,
because they decided not to change up the story midway through, it was implied that Joey was actually supposed to be Bendy. I mean, already with the flashbacks, the fact that there's a wheelchair in one of the flashbacks, the fact that Joey has a limp, the fact that Bendy has a limp, all of that stuff. It was supposed to be implied that Joey was supposed to be Bendy at one point.
yeah.
So
I
I had Bendy and the Gunning Demon. Yeah, you're so lucky, Connor.
I really wish, you know, like what's it's like I remember when like chapter like well after chapter 3 released, waiting for chapter 4 and stuff. I remember like imagining like what it'd be, what would happen and stuff if we'd actually. Oh my god, this dude's chasing me, and we'd see, we it imply that Joey was the ink demon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, what I'm kind of, chapter 4. I think it was like way overhyped for like what it was. You know what I mean? We didn't see Bendy too often. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think Bendy was scrapped because here's the thing: if you look at Bendy Land, right, there's a lot of miracle stations for no reason. There's nobody we need to hide from because majority of the time the enemies don't even leave out their um, relative rooms. So I
hmm
think Bendy was supposed to be there. They just scrapped it.
yeah, I think like I kind of wish Chapter 4 was larger than it was, and I do wish like the mascot Bendies and stuff like were they were enemies in the game. I just think I just kind of think they were like I think that was just kind of like wasted potential. You know what I mean? Because they were horrifying. They were like uncanny to look at.
Yeah, they were actually like one of the most like disturbing things in the game, which is funny because you have a literal demon and somehow a mascot uniform is way more disturbing.
Yeah, and I really hope like I really hope like in a DLC for Dark Revival they it focuses on Bendy Land again. You know, because if they did that, I really feel like they'd be able to fix a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Oh shit, this guy's angry. But they need to they need to add a DLC.
Hold on, give us a sec. Technical difficulties again. I'm sorry, guys.
It's fine. Um,
Okay.
Sometimes we all have technical difficulties with like this. Oh no, he's right there. He's right there. He's right there. Wait a moment, dude. I'm like crouching like right next to him. He doesn't see me. Look at
I'm
this.
telling you,
Do you dare? I'm.
stealth in this game is it
Never
doesn't
mind.
make no sense.
He fucking seen. He saw me. He saw me.
Bro, you have to literally smack his ass to literally get him to be like, "Huh? What? There's someone behind me?"
Yeah.
Bendyland. I had an idea for something called Mega Bendyland for a Bendy and a Dark Revival fan game. Yeah, it'd be pretty cool to make a fan game just based off Bendyland by itself. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, it says my microphone is too. Like someone said, my microphone's too low. Hold on. Okay, I turned it up a little bit. Okay. Um. Yeah, dude, they need to have a Bendy Lane DLC. You know, like all the DLCs they need to have. Like,
Yeah.
this is my list. This is my list. Um, one, a Batum remaster. Two, a spin-off with Boris. I know, yeah, they made Boris in the Dark Survival, but I mean, they need to make a spin-off where where it's like a first-person game with Boris, and this dude is chasing me. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! A Boris DLC, an Alice DLC, a Sammy DLC, and then like something new. You know what I'm saying?
We actually okay, here's the thing. I don't agree on the Alice DLC because Alice, for some reason, out of all the characters, even Sammy, who was way more important than Alice Angel, she somehow got a boss fight out of everyone. Like, it's like they play favoritism with Alice. Like, they love her so much, they decided to give her her own boss battle for no reason. Like, there's no other reason why she needs a boss battle. Sammy should have had a boss battle because the dude is literally a cultist representing the Ink Demon. Like, he
Yeah,
has so much more importance. So I feel like Alice DLC isn't needed, but Sammy one is really needed. They done him so fucking dirty.
yeah. I mean, they really gotta have a Sammy DLC. Like,
Yo, what's up, Bruno?
what's one thing they need to do?
What?
They need a. I really want to see. I really want to see Lord Amok and Sammy butt heads because they're both
Oh,
cultists. So, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, that would have been a great just world building rivalry right there.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Garden and Ban Ban? Yes, we're talking about Garden and Ban Ban. Yes, I love Garden and Ban Ban. Actually, my favorite
it,
character is the Garden Demon, you know? And
it's
then we
such a
got we
fun
got Ban Ban Angel. Oh, speaking of barrels, because I seen your screen and there was a barrel. You wanna know one thing I've learned
what?
that many people probably don't know in Bendy and Dark Rival? If the Ink Demon comes out and you don't have a hiding spot, look for the nearest barrel and hit it. And you can literally make your own like hiding spot right then and there.
Yeah.
Like I never knew that.
That's honestly like a really cool mechanic.
Yeah, that's I wish that's the thing.
What am I
I wish
supposed
they
to do
made the
here?
game more interactable.
Hmm.
Like I wish there was stuff like you can like already we had the breakable walls and then we have like the flow, like the little flow areas, and then we got like the little barrels. But I wish there was more stuff to interact with
I
and all that stuff.
yeah. I forgot. What am I supposed to do here in the game? Huh. I really gotta get the
Also,
yeah.
let me see. Is your okay? That's strange. When or isn't that supposed to trigger a cutscene where the lost one comes out the door?
I think so.
So what? Hold up. Did you accidentally soft lock your game?
Um. I think. Oh wait, never mind. There we go.
Okay, okay.
I think like some of these lost ones. I don't know. They're just goofy as hell.
Yeah,
I
the
just
lost ones. I can't take the lost ones seriously.
yeah.
I thought there was honestly, I take the Benny and the Ink Machine ones more seriously because well, one, they didn't have a voice, so they wasn't saying stupid shit like, "Oh, where are my paintings?" But
They look
two,
like Squidward. They look
yeah,
like
they
they're
look
inky Squidwards. Oh my god, let me hide. Let me hide. Nah. Bro, why ain't this
yeah,
shit
pretty
letting me
much.
hide? Oh yeah, it's cause the dude saw me.
Yeah, the only way you can hide is in a little miracle station.
Crap. I mean, these guys are like over the top aggressive sometimes.
Yeah.
I th- I mean like bro, they're basically they're just Squidwards. They're just Squidwards. You know, they're just angry
Lost ones are like
Squidwards.
yeah.
That's like
Lost ones are like thugs from Batman Arkham series. That is
yeah.
true. Except we don't have Batman fucking smashing them after them not revealing where Penguin's hideout is.
Yeah, they should. Like, I mean, the Batman Arkham thugs, in my opinion, they're they're more easier to take seriously than the Lost ones.
Yeah, it's just the Lost ones, they it's also because they don't have much of a story to go off of. They're just NPCs.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there's so much story in Benny and a Dark Arrival that doesn't cover,
Oh
stuff
god
in
damn it,
Benny
he
and the
was
Ink
right
Machine.
fucking there. I'm sorry.
You're good. But there's a lot of stuff that Benny and the Dark Revival never decided to cover. That Benny and the Ink Machine, had. Like why did Bertram how did Bertram turn himself into a literal machine, you know? Um what else? What else? What's it called? How did a projectionist come to fruition, you know? Why the lost ones exist? Like what are their purpose? There's more. What's the Butcher Gang? Actually, like who are the Butcher Gang? Because the only thing we know is that they're part of a cartoon, but we don't know like how they were made or why
Yeah.
their existence, who possessed them or whatever. And honestly, what would have been a good theory is that Alice's father should have been like parts of the Butcher Gang because he was a butcher himself. So obviously that would make sense. But Alice's dad did die before.
Yeah.
Actually, no, because we don't know when he died because he could have died like while Alice was part of Joy Drew Studios and maybe he was coming over to visit and Joy Drew took his soul or whatever and turned to the Butcher Gang, but we don't know. We don't
Imagine
know.
if like things actually like turned like they turned dirty and he actually got cut up into three pieces, you know, and Piper's head is literally just like a disfigured face of Alice's dad, you know.
Um, I mean, if you think about it, butchers do cut stuff up, so that would have actually been interesting. But
Oh, okay, gotta sneak in. I can't let the Squidward see me.
the lost ones probably came into existence like Audrey. They just wake up after waking in some area. I mean, yeah, we know they came into existence, but that doesn't explain why they were made. Like obviously, Audrey, she came from ink, right? Like she already came from the ink itself. So putting her back into the world, we don't really need to explain why she became what she is because she was already that to begin with. Um, but the lost ones, they came from the real world into the ink machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they were employees before. That's what we're
Uh
assuming,
oh,
but we never
bro.
what?
Bro, I'm sorry. This dude he keeps hunting me down.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
what's it called? Like we know the lost ones were employees, but that and we know that Joey basically experimented on the employees and they're like failed versions. But we never got like actual confirmation of that, you
Yeah.
know? And that's something we need. Like the thing about Bendy that kind of irks me is that it's vague about a lot of things. And I understand it's for theory bait or whatever, but we need more confirmation, like why something is. Like the ink demon. We got confirmation of the ink demon
Mm-hmm.
becoming
Your microphone cut out. This right here. Hey, IHS, I think your microphone cut out. I can't hear you. Or like my Wi-Fi is like, nah, my Wi-Fi is fine. Hold on.
ink machine. We have Benny and the Dark Revival. Um, I think the third one is really when we're going to. Oh, my mic cut out.
Yeah, your microphone cut out. I think mine did too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. So I'm just talking. I'm just talking to myself. Uh, what I was saying. I was basically talking about the future of Bendy, right?
Mhm.
Um, basically, I think there's going to be four Bendy games, right?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure if there's going to be a fifth one, but essentially, I think there's going to be four. I think the third one is going to explain already like Jen and the secrets that they have, and could basically explain why the experiments exist and everything, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I think the fourth game will round it all together and conclude. Like basically, the three games was basically setting up for the fourth game or whatever.
Mhm.
So I think that's how it's going to work. I don't think Bendy is really going to be like Five Nights at Freddy's, where basically there's going to be like multiple games. Because I don't think the Meatly's really going to be like that much into Bendy to the point where he will make like so many games of Bendy. Unless he gives it to a different person, or unless he creates like a whole new timeline.
Yeah.
So other than that, I think that's just how Bendy's going to work.
Like I seriously think I think like all the games are gonna have like Dark Revival graphics and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I think they're gonna remaster Batum. You know,
I hope so. That's good money they're missing out.
yeah, like if they remaster Batum, and they promised like they'd quote unquote fix Batum and fix the bugs, so they owe us a Batum, right? Since they said they'd quote unquote fix it, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is like their opportunity to fix the game.
It is. They and here's the thing, they don't even have to do much of the work. They already have majority of the assets. All they need to do
Yeah,
is re code a few things and remaster a few things. Other than that, if they was to start on it, I think it would be built in no less than 2 years,
yeah.
give or take.
I think you're right about that because um I feel like I seriously think they could get it done in 8 months because a lot of the Beta assets for like Chapter 5 and Chapter 4, they have a similar poly count to the ones in Dark Revival, so they can easily just, retexture those. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
And they probably, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. They've probably gotten to work on a beta remaster by now. You know?
Um, I mean, if they do, I do hope they give us more boss fights. Like, I want boss fights of each main antagonist of each chapter. Like, I want a Sammy boss fight.
Yeah.
I want a Alice Angel boss fight, all that stuff.
Mhm.
That would actually be a cool way to actually, and that would actually be a cool way to actually fix Chapter 5 too. Like everybody talks shit about Chapter 5 and everything too. This is their way, or this is their chance to like redeem it and everything.
Yeah. I feel
So
like um if they it like I feel like if they keep the first 3 chapters the same, almost the same, maybe add a few things to them. Make
mm,
chapters 4 and 5 completely different. I feel like a this new Beta remaster will be, it'll be like it'll make them a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
it would. I'd buy it my dang self.
Yeah. I mean, I'd play it on this channel constantly if they made a Beta remaster, and they have a Henry Stein model. There's no way they're gonna have a Henry Stein model that's that detailed for just a couple seconds in a game. I feel like they're gonna use it for something. There's no way they're gonna have a Sammy model that's that detailed for a couple seconds in a game. Same with the Bertram head. I feel like they're teasing a remaster in that specific area. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I can't say for sure, but we can theorize.
yeah, yeah. I think we could theorize too. Um, oh yeah, that'll actually be pretty cool. That'll actually be pretty cool. Um, what else? What else? All right. I think that's all about Bendy that we have to say. How about indie horror games as a whole?
Oh
You
yeah.
know?
I mean,
Um,
the
yeah,
subject.
I ain't gonna. Oh,
Yeah,
my bad, my bad.
the subject of Bendy might come up again because
Yeah.
okay, but actually before we end off the Bendy topic, what's one thing I wish they did with Chapter 4? Okay,
What is it?
do you remember when they first showed the cage room in the now in production trailer? I wish it was like that. You know what I mean? I wish it kind of showed up
Yeah.
into a void. That would have been
Yeah.
so cool to just see that in the game, but I guess it was wasted potential. But yeah, you know.
Yeah. Pretty much.
All right. You know what? Let's talk about indie horror games. Where should we start?
Uh, Basically just the whole topic of mascot horror in general and how it's just been a big thing. Like, I could understand why a lot of people are talking about it because it's such a main thing in horror now, like especially in horror games. But now it's gotten to the point where everybody is just talking about it, and I think people are just cashing in on the name of
Hmm.
of mascot horror itself rather than actually discussing it, right?
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is that a lot of YouTubers are talking about, oh, well, mascot horror is bad, mascot horror is bad, this, mascot horror bad that. And it's just I never see anybody talk about what makes mascot horror good. Like yeah, maybe they might mention like their favorite mascot horror game, but I feel like majority of people just love the shit on mascot horror just for the money or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I never see anybody talk about good mascot horror. Like one okay. Let's talk about what's the meaning of mascot horror. Because a lot of people think mascot horror is just supposed to be just people in like suits or like creatures that come from like your childhood and they just became monster. Mascot horror isn't about you know something.
Or
I cut off again.
yeah,
Oh man. What did I last left off at?
you were saying like mascot horror isn't like just people in like costumes,
Yeah.
but
It's not just people in costumes or something from your childhood that became a monster. It's literally in its name, a mascot of a horror game. So it could be anything just as long as it represents a mascot of your horror game. Like Monstrum, for example, right?
yeah,
Monstrum is a very underrated horror game that has three mascots. The main mascot's actually the Brute, which is this giant lava-like mass. But yeah, it's that's a pretty good oh shoot. Hold up, give me a sec. My mom's calling.
it's fine. Oh my god, I'm getting attacked by Squidwards.
All right, I'm back. I'm
All right.
back. It was just a quick call. But that's a good mascot horror game because for starters, it takes place in a unique location. Um if you want to discover the lore, you actually have to go exploring looking for the lore.
Yeah.
It's not like most indie horror games where they just sprinkle it about and then you have to theorize it. It literally like tells you you got to search for the lore and everything. And if you don't want the lore, it doesn't force it upon you. It just lets you explore. Sometimes people just want to play the game for the horror experience and that's it. That's a good one. Happy Humble's Burger Farm. Who said that? I'm trying to see. It was Juju Gamer, right? That's a good mascot horror game, because it takes a unique concept and it doesn't like try to sprinkle lore throughout it. It just adds so much unique things. But nobody won't talk about games like that because it doesn't give them money. It doesn't allow them to like clickbait people and talk negative about things
Yep.
about, and that's the thing about YouTubers in general, right? Most mascot not mascot YouTubers, indie horror YouTubers or horror YouTubers.
Yeah.
They only want to talk about the negatives because they know it brings in the views. And I'm not going to say it doesn't because I'll admit, I see a video about why Bendy is bad. I want to click on it because I want to see somebody else's perspective of a game that I like. I actively try searching for negative things about something that I like so I can see a different perspective.
Yeah.
But the issue is that now every single person has something negative about the game, and now it's just become, well, this game bad. Give me my views so I can make my money, and it sucks because
Yeah.
there's so much good about the genre too.
Yeah. I know. It's just because there's like a couple bad apples. It doesn't mean every single mascot horror game is bad. It's just Poppy Playtime and whatever that other one is called.
Guardian Bam
Garden
Bam.
Bam Bam. I don't know why it slipped my mind. But
That's yeah. That's also something I want to discuss about too because I was discussing this with another indie horror YouTuber, very underrated. He covers a lot of Little Nightmares. It's just Jord, right? So basically, he was talking about should he play Guardian Banban, and I was basically talking about how Guardian Banban isn't that much of a good game, so you shouldn't give it its attention or whatever. But basically, he was talking about how a bunch of people just hate it because a lot of people are bandwagoning off of it and all that stuff. I was like, you know what? That's that's actually agreeable. Like I okay, obviously, I don't hate Garden and Banban, right? I don't like it, but I don't like hate it to the point where I'm talking about like it's literally the bane of mascot horror existence.
Yeah.
But the your Forest brothers, they created a lot of different games that are way better looking than Garden and Banban. So they purposely made their game look bad. That's why I kind of don't like it, for the sake that they created it for the sake of it being bad. And it's not like Baldi, where it's satire, you know? Like it's bad for the sake of being bad, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but what's it called? The reason why what I was discussing? Yeah, it is pretty overhated and everything and all that stuff, right? And I feel like
Mhm.
it's the reason why a lot of mascot indie horror YouTube channels are the way that they are because they see Garden Bad and then they talk negative about it, and now they're viewing every other game as negative, like, oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad, and it's just it kind of sucks, you know. Like, of course, Garden Bad isn't the greatest of mascot horror,
Yeah.
but honestly, it's just all the other people that are shitting on it. It's just too much.
You know,
It's too much.
um, I feel like, so like, you were saying, a mascot horror game, it was it like it's basically a horror game that represents something of like I don't know, like a company or something. So basically, for instance, say like we made a horror game about like one of our OCs. You know what I mean? Like say like for instance, um, I'm just trying to think of an example I could use.
Yeah.
That one guy in the
Um.
trench coat. We made like a horror game off of him, and he was like a mascot in the world, but it was like genuinely scary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, like here's what I noticed. Here's like a pattern I noticed. Like if the mascot horror game doesn't have like a cartoony vibe to it, kind of like Dark Revival or Poppy Playtime or FNAF, it goes unnoticed. People like
Yeah.
want to see stylization. That's what I noticed. They want to see visual stylization, and you know, Dark Revival, it proved mascot horror games can be disturbing and like scary. You know what I mean? You don't have to draw everything all kid
That's right.
friendly and
Because the
stuff.
majority of the time, YouTubers see those games. YouTubers do see those games. They just don't cover them.
Yeah,
And the reason why they don't cover them is because majority of the time they can't either clickbait off of it or they can't milk it to like existence or whatever.
yeah,
Choo Choo Charles isn't a great game, but it's unique. Choo Choo Charles, I think it's a decent game. Of course, it's not the best mascot horror, but it certainly is unique, you know? So I do agree with that.
you know, I think I was okay. I actually had okay. This is gonna sound okay. This is just me. This is just one of my concepts. I never really told anyone about this,
Yeah.
but I at one time I actually had a concept for some of my followers know this universe I made. I call it the Cyanide verse. I actually had a horror game concept that was supposed to take place in the Cyanide verse, and it was supposed to be a mascot game. It was supposed to be like a
Yeah.
scary mascot clown game, but it was supposed to be like a parody of Poppy Playtime. But at the same time, it was like a parody of FNAF. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was gonna be absolutely horrifying. You know, an uncanny
Yeah.
tale.
Hmm.
And I was thinking about it. It's like you can still have uncanniness and still have the same vibe as all these mascot horror games. You know what I'm saying? It's like not
Yeah.
impossible. It's just we don't see people doing that.
Yeah.
You know.
which kind of sucks. I'm not gonna lie, but maybe with other YouTubers starting to learn that we should appreciate more different horror games in general, maybe we can start a revolution to allow that stuff.
Yeah,
Because the only reason why these games exist, like I said, is because of us.
yeah, you know.
Hey yo, what's your POV? Wait, hey yo, in your point of view, what's the best indie horror game? Um, goddamn, that man freaking smashed his head on the freaking window. But I don't know. Despite me being an indie horror game channel, I haven't played many indie horror games. Like I played a good amount, but I haven't played that many to the point where I can literally be like, well, um, I prefer this or I prefer that, you know? But right now, in my opinion, I think Monstrum is one of the best indie horror games, right? Because for starters, it doesn't give you like hella cutscenes for you to go through. As a matter of fact, I don't even think the game even has cutscenes. It has ending cutscenes, but it doesn't have cutscenes.
Yeah,
It doesn't try to hold your hand. Like it doesn't like like Bendy or whatever, where it's linear and it holds your hand telling you, well, you got to do this and you got to do that. It allows you to make your own choice.
hmm,
If the monster's chasing after you, it's not like a cutscene where it's like, rah, I'm the monster, I'm coming to get you, and then you have a chance to run. If a monster's right there, motherfucker, you just gotta run. And then you also have to be smart about it. There's different tools that you gotta use in order for you to fight off the monsters. And they're not like tools to the point where you can kill them, right? It's a way to stop them, so now you have like a chance, but you can't really kill them. So it still has like that horror in it, right? Like
yeah,
you don't have like a gun in a horror game. You could be like, yeah, I could just shoot this big daddy down, and I'll be fine. It's like, well, I gotta spray them with this fire hydrant and slow them down, but I still gotta get to stepping. And there's three different endings and all that stuff. So already, I think it's one of the best games. And each monster has like a different mechanic to them, right? So I think, in my opinion, Monstrum is one of the best indie horror games.
I mean, for me, um, it's honestly, it's honestly gonna be Five Nights at Freddy's 3.
Three, that's interesting. Why
Five
three?
Nights at Freddy's 3, because like, you know, and it's that game still sticks with me. Like, I really like how like everything is just green and moldy. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
instead of an animatronic chasing you, right? You're literally and like, you know, all these like animatronics chasing you. You have to deal with this. You have to deal this with this with this suit with a guy who's like rotting inside of it. You know what I mean? I think that concept is scary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this guy has done like so many horrible things in the past, and it's scary that like you don't have like a lot of tools at your disposal to like get rid of like to like not get rid of him, but like to keep him away from you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can hear like him making like moaning sounds and stuff, like he's like in pain in the background, which
Yeah.
makes the game scary. And you can like see him like when he and like you could see him like getting closer and closer to you in the office. And the scary part of Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is that there's a vent that's like right next to you, but in the office you can't see the vent. They don't Scott made the game so you can't see the vent. And I think
Yeah.
that concept is scary because Springtrap could be like right behind you and stuff. In
Yeah.
visually the game just looks so good. It's so unique. That's like why I
Yeah.
like. That's why I speak highly of FNAF 3 a lot. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
like my
That's
favorite indie horror game.
that's interesting. I never expected, FNAF 3 out of all of the FNAF games. But hey, cool. I honestly don't really have an opinion on Five Nights at Freddy's because I I I, I used to be very into Five Nights at Freddy's when I was younger. Like I was there for that era where um there was so many Five Nights at Freddy's songs coming out.
Yeah,
It was like a craze or whatever. I was there for that era. I was like what, in sixth grade or whatever.
yeah,
I used to be so scared to like use the bathroom in the middle of the night because I thought like freaking Chica or Bonnie would come out the hallway and literally grab me. Uh, but
Mhm.
yeah, in my opinion, my favorite FNAF got to be FNAF 2, and it's because of how big of a step up it is, right? Like
Yeah.
majority of people don't like FNAF 2 because it's just there's too many animatronics and it doesn't really have like that scary atmosphere that FNAF 1 had and all that stuff. But there's something about expanding on something, right? That just adds uniqueness. Like look at Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2, right? Dead Space 1 is just filled with dread, it's filled with scariness and everything, right? But they can't copy that same thing in Dead Space 2 because the people that play Dead Space 1, they already know who the necromorphs is, right? They already know the monsters, they already know everything. You
Yeah.
can't make a game scarier if it's already scary. It's more of the look.
Mhm. You know, one thing. Okay, hey, did you cut out, or are you still there? Okay, I think he cut out. That's on. Okay, hold on. Either like my, either like IHS's Wi-Fi is is screwed up, or like mine is like my Wi-Fi isn't that good.
Oh, my cut out. Wait, did
Yeah.
mine?
Oh
No.
wait, we can hear you again. I can hear you.
Okay. Oh my God. Ah, technical difficulties. But where did I last left off at?
Um, I'm sorry, I got distracted by Dark
Oh,
Revival.
you're fine. You're fine. Um, I'm pretty sure I'm rambling on anyways. What was going to talk about? Something indie horror games, right? Yeah, we basically just need us YouTubers to start talking more about good indie horror games, so that way we can get more unique ones and all that stuff.
You know, yeah. There's this one guy, you know, who I don't think any like whose audience is mostly kids who is looked down upon. Y'all probably know who I'm talking about, right? Um,
Death King.
yeah, Theft King. I feel like the problem. Okay, here's a problem I have with him. So when he first came into the picture, I feel like a lot of popular fan game devs and stuff trusted him too quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he grew too quickly, too fast. I mean, honestly, in my opinion,
Yeah.
before he before the controversy even started, I kind of knew there was something off about him, but he
Yeah.
kept making Poppy Playtime videos and all that. Like, there, okay, there's nothing wrong with making videos on a game that you really like. Look at me. I made 100 videos on Bendy and Dark Deception. Like,
Yeah.
come on now. But the difference with him is that every video is just him talking smack about Poppy Playtime this, Poppy Playtime that. And I was like, there's something off about him. I'm not too sure. So I stopped watching him for a while. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's always something off.
And then he like made a video mentioning I guess he just said like a couple good points about security breach, and then like all the popular fan game devs in the fanverse were like, "Oh yeah, he's one of us now." And then he just kind of started picking fights with people. You know what I'm saying? Like the best way to describe him, you probably don't know who I'm talking about, but there is this other guy. He's not a part of any sort of um indie horror game community, but he's like part of the art community. He's a commentator. His name is Daft Pina. I can
Oh
see,
yeah, I used to watch some of his videos back in the day.
yeah. So I've noticed some similarities between um, Daft Pina and Theft King. I think like they're both man childs. I mean man children or however you say it. um,
Mm.
they both make their profits off of negativity, they both like to start drama to profit off of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's like the thing. That's like something that happens a lot these days. People create drama to like, they create clout to like make money these days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's like when you like speak like uh, negative and stuff about like games and stuff or like artists and stuff, then it just it just starts it doesn't have a good effect. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like more people should like just say like there should be more of us like just talking about like good things about like indie horror games, or bringing light to good indie horror games that people don't know exist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Which could be a way for people to actually see the good and actually learn what's actually good instead of just, well, this game bad, and then that's it.
Yeah. You know,
But yeah,
and I remember I remember the first time Poppy Playtime was announced. So that was like back in 2021. When I
did you
first
know
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Did you know Puppet Playtime was announced like way before that? I remember seeing a like a little sort of teaser or whatever for Puppet Playtime like way before the game even gained popularity.
Yeah.
I don't wanna say I was the first person to see it, but Game Minecraft, I'm joking. All right, continue.
hmm When I saw, okay, I've seen it like way before. I saw like the logo and stuff way before,
Yeah.
and I was like, I honestly, at first, I didn't think like when I first like saw it, I thought it was just gonna be, you know, a small indie horror game, you know.
Yeah.
But it turns out like it was just like how do I the best way to explain Poppy Playtime. It's called I would call it like a beautiful money making masterpiece. That's like the best way to describe it.
Yeah, because I'll admit the game looks really, really nice.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, it's got some AAA quality. You know what
All
I'm?
look but no substance,
Yeah,
pretty much.
and I feel like I feel like this game had a lot of like it's got a lot of potential. I feel like you know, there's goods and then there's like bads about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think the good thing about Bobby Playtime, okay, already we know its look is really good. It has, like you said, AAA quality when it comes to its looks.
Yeah.
Um, Voice acting is relatively decent.
Mhm.
It's not the best, but it's decent for what it is. And I do like the way how the world kind of is, just toys roaming around and everything, all that stuff. And some of the puzzles are pretty cool, but other than that, that's kind of it. Oh, and Huggy Wuggy's design is pretty cool. Mommy Longlegs design, actually, I do like the way how they decide to change her design like midway through development. Like she was supposed to be like looking like a literal toy, but they decided to make her a little more creepy by making her a little more spiny, like a little more unhealthy and everything. So yeah, I do like that. Some of the monsters designs are pretty cool, but other
Bro.
than that, it's
Hey,
eh.
I just looked on Twitter. I don't know if this is fake, but I think they put Theft King in Garden
Oh,
of
that's
Banban.
fake. That's fake. Yeah, that's fake.
That's
I
gotta be
think.
fake. Nab
Yeah, I
shot.
don't think they're that based. If they did that, I'd start covering the game on my channel.
If they did, like, if they actually did that, that'd be hilarious.
That would be so
I mean,
fucking
I'd pay.
based, man.
They, they'd get my $5, honestly. Like,
Oh yeah.
you know, there's people that think I'm that think I'm a little bit too mean on Theft King, but it's like, how am I too mean? This dude's literally 35 years old and acting like he's 8 years old. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. That's actually that's something that caught me by fucking surprise how old Theft King is.
Yeah. I mean,
That man is 35 years old arguing with minors and 18-year-olds on the internet.
at the same time, I kind of doubt he's 35 years old. The reason why is because he do be looking youthful as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, I'm telling you, people could look that youthful. I go to work and there's this dude uh at my workplace. I thought he was 18. This dude's 38. He's 38 looking like an 18-year-old. So it's possible.
Yeah, I mean, then again, that like do be happening. You know what I'm saying? I
Hey,
mean,
random battle question. Who will win, the Ink Demon or 100 Lions? The Ink Demon.
I mean,
No, no.
let's see. Okay, so what kind of lions are these? Are they are they the one? Okay, because there's like different types of lions. Okay, there's like mountain lions. Um, there's like African lions. Um, there's like I forgot the name of it, but they like live in the jungle. But it's like a type of lion. Oh man, you might cut out again.
Oh, I'm not even talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
You
just
good.
like trying to
You
figure.
good.
I'm just trying to figure this out. So like
Yeah.
what
Like wild African lions.
okay,
That's what Mr. Nobody
okay.
said.
Um are these male or female? Because, you
If
know,
it's if if it's females, maybe they might have a chance because the females mostly go, okay, nah, they don't have a chance. Because male lions don't really hunt. They don't really hunt. It's
yeah.
most of the female ones.
So that's what I mean. So if it's the female ones like fighting the ink demon, female lions fighting the ink demon, there's like a bunch of them too. So um
There might be a chance. Well, I feel like the it still dominates.
I mean it so okay, it doesn't sound like you can like touch the ink demon, but like, are these lions gonna be um in Joey's dimension, or are they gonna be in the real world with the ink demon? You know, that's like another thing we have to like question.
Yeah, true, true.
So if it's in this realm, um, that would mean
All right. Man.
ink demon.
Oh, here's another thing I want. Oh, in Lion's territory.
Yeah,
Uh, Ink Demon still dominates because it's Ink Demon. Like, come
yeah.
on now. He literally, now that I realize it, this dude literally just saw.
Oh man. Ah. Hold on. I'm hitting it. I
Hear me?
think his mic cut out.
Hey, Mike, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. What I was saying. Yeah, Ink Demon automatically dominates. He automatically dominates.
Yeah,
Oh, you came in Smack Bendy?
yeah.
Honestly, I don't know why they didn't add a function where when you smack Benny, he automatically turns to the Ink Demon and kills you. Because the thing is that the lurker, if you smack the lurker, he fucking kills you.
Mhm.
So I don't know why did they do that with the Ink Demon. That would have been funny. You just smack him, he just turns to the Ink Demon, just fucking murks you on the spot.
Yeah.
But what's it called? Yeah, Ink Demon solos. Another thing I want to talk about indie horror games and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Um, we need more creative people in indie horror games. Little
Yes.
Nightmares, Bendy. Puppet Plays and all that, because a lot of people, they just, I understand discussion is probably the most easiest thing to do with most indie horror games, but a lot of people just like to talk bad about indie horror games, or just talk and never do anything to add on to it. Like, look at Finance of Freddy's, for example, right? Yeah, we got a lot of people discussing about Finance of Freddy's, but every person discussing about Finance of Freddy's, there's like five, six different fan games. There's so much fan art. There's so much this. We need people to actually add more content or more creative content to indie games and all that stuff, rather than just talking about it. Like Bendy, for
I
example,
agree.
we need more Bendy fan games. Dear God, we do.
Yes, I mean, like, I'm trying to. Okay, I'm trying to. I know, like, I said I'd quit making fan games, right? But like,
Yeah,
I'm really trying to like get back into the fan game, uh, community and stuff.
yeah.
It's just like,
I,
yeah,
my bad.
it's just like I need a plan.
Yeah, I've been trying to get back into making, Benny fan games because what's it called? I always, ever since I started my channel, I always wanted to make like a Bendy fan game or whatever and all that stuff. The issue is that majority of the time, there's always just something to distract me. But I don't think that's going to happen anymore because one, I'm not in school no more, so I don't really have to worry about distractions. I mean, I have a job, but I
Yeah,
still have time to focus on stuff.
yeah,
And I actually have money to actually fund some things. So like
yeah,
if we ever need like models or something, or we ever need somebody to help, I can always just pay them or whatever, all that stuff. So
yeah. I mean,
yeah, that's something I want to do, which is something I actually should start working on right now, or we should start working on.
you know,
Just a Bendy fan
and
game.
you know, I have an idea, like how we could like go about this. All right,
What?
like I'm gonna
Yeah,
help fund it too. I'm still gonna have access to a computer, but it's like
yeah,
I'm not gonna be like the main modeler this time. However, I'm gonna be like, coming up with concepts and stuff, and like, making like, drawing out maps and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So what I'm gonna do this time is I'm gonna like we're like in a little bit like we're gonna I'm gonna discuss some of my fan game concepts. I have like several. Like
yeah,
one of them is actually a remaster. Well, it's not really a total remaster, but at the same time, it is a remaster of Final Hours.
mm.
You know,
We should bring back Final Hours. I really like the style of it.
you know, and if we bring back Final Hours, so um, this is how this is how I'd go about it. All right, it would be nothing like the 2021 version, but it'd have a mixture of Dark Revival assets and custom assets that we made. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Mm,
basically, this version of the game, um, would take place in the sewers, you know, and it'd
yeah,
take place in. I'm not really gonna say a chapter 4 like area, but at the same time, it's gonna be sort of like chapter 4, like the cage room and stuff from the now in production
yeah,
trailer. It'd be in a dark, murky area like that, and basically in that game, it'd be about the final hours of like Wilson's reign. That's what it'd be
yeah,
about. Hence the name Final Hours. You know.
yeah. And actually, that's something I want to elaborate on. Wilson, right?
Mhm.
Um, you want to know what would have been cool? Like, I understand this wasn't supposed to be part of the main Bendy story, all that stuff. But when Wilson talked about that he cut the Ink Demon in two, I thought that we were going to look for the Ink Demon, find his body, connect it together in order for him to help us in Dark Revival. I mean, if you think about it, that will literally imply the term, the Dark Revival. We're literally reviving Bendy, which Since they didn't do that in the game, that's an idea I'm going to fucking steal. Well, I'm not stealing because it's my idea, but you
Yeah.
want to know how cool it would have been? Oh, you can't even knock that down. That's sad. But you want to know how cool it would have been to like actually fucking look for the ink demon body with Wilson trying to stop us, and then we actually like fucking get him together and everything. And like at first he is like kind of evil, like he is after us, killing anything in sight because that's what the ink demon does. But then eventually we get him on our side, and then we have him help you or help us. That would have been cool.
Hmm. It's like Wilson though. It's like it's interesting. You know what I mean? It's like with like think about it. With if we make a fan game, right? That
Yeah,
has like Wilson revolving around it, right?
yeah,
It sounds like Wilson made a whole bunch of creations with the ink machine. He made those spiders. He made Betty. That he made that amalgamation. If that's the case, what if in final hours we play as like one of his creations? He like made some sort of like bodyguard or something,
yeah,
or like somebody, or like somebody who's hunting parts for him, for his
yeah,
creations. Like, imagine that. That'd be cool. And it'd be
yeah,
about the final hours of Wilson being alive.
yeah. That would have been cool.
Yeah. Maybe, maybe we should do that. Maybe we should, um, look into that concept because I feel like it'd be a nice, like, one, it'd be a nice way to bring back final hours, you know.
Yeah, of
Two,
course.
um, even though it's not canon, it would like it would be nice to kind of see like an interpretation of the Dark Revival universe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's like why I'm deciding. That's why I think it'd be a cool idea to bring Final Hours back, but also not bring Final Hours back at the same time. It's just gonna like reuse the name, but however we can like make it have like some of the same areas as Final Hours. You know what I'm saying? But it
yeah,
can have a completely new look.
yeah.
You know, I think one fan game concept, the one you came up with, Exit of Death, I think that was, a really cool fan game concept.
That's still something I want to do, and I thought of a lot of different things for it. Like, this might be a bit ambitious, so I might not add this. But I thought about like here's the thing, right? In Bendy, right, we meet all these characters, yet they never provide some sort of use to us other than progressing the story and everything, right? And something in video games that always just you know that just caught my fancy, right?
Yeah.
Is when we meet a character throughout the game, we can always like use them to like either discover new areas, secrets, battles, or everything. And I thought about that, right? Like rather than having like a companion like Boris, maybe in the story, right? Like maybe
Uh-huh.
when you're playing throughout the main story, you obviously have them like as an NPC, but when they're not there, you can basically go on like a scroll wheel, right? And you can what's it called? Choose which character you want to bring out. Like let's just say Wally Franks, for example, right? You bring out Wally Franks, he has a jet lung pipe and he can help you get to areas that you can't access because they're too high. So he basically drops down a pipe and lets you climb it, right? Or you bring out Audrey, right? Audrey unleashes like a giant energy to wipe away a bunch of uh, enemies and all that stuff, right? And
Hmm.
I always thought, that'd be a pretty cool idea. Like you meet these characters, you go through their story, and all of a sudden you unlock them on your wheel, and now you can go exploring and finding different secrets and all that stuff. But it might be a little too ambitious.
I mean, like, if we have a large enough budget, like, say we somehow get a large enough budget, I
Yeah.
think, a large budget Bendy fan game might be possible. I don't think like the Meat League is gonna. do a fan verse at all.
No, he's not.
Cause he made it. I think like as long as Mike Mood is there, um, I don't think they have any interests in making fan games.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know, Mike Mood, um, it like, dude, I mean, oh man, Ink Demon, Mike Mood is
Uh,
just,
the Ink Demon hasn't even came out.
yeah,
You know when the Ink Demon comes out when you see like the
yeah.
little
I
thing.
mean, for me, it's just like an automatic. You know, when I hear him, or if I feel like he's coming, I just start hiding automatically.
Yeah,
Fuck.
he's not even coming. Look,
No, I mean
he
he's
only.
coming. I mean he's coming
Oh,
now. There's just a
oh,
delay in my stream.
oh yeah, true, true.
Okay, I can't tell if he's gone or not because of how
But
okay, because of how like my display on my drawing monitor looks. That's like my only computer monitor.
yeah. Um, I'm trying to think. What was it? What was it? Oh yeah, it was Exit Death. That's still something I want to do and all that stuff. I also want the game to be like introducing new characters, right? Like most fan games introduce like the same characters and all that stuff. I wanted to introduce like new characters
Mhm.
and all that stuff. Just so the story could feel different from just Bendy. So that way it's not like, oh, it's just a Bendy fan game. It's like a Bendy fan game with its own story, you know?
Yeah, like I remember one thing. I still remember this. I feel like if we had like a larger budget, this is what I'd want in Exit of Death. I want there to be enemy variants. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's something I always wanted. One thing I always wanted was more monstrous cartoon creatures and more monstrous inky creatures. So that way, um, when you go into a new level or something, right? A new chapter, a new level, you don't always see the same enemies. Like, of course, you might see like the same last one or whatever, as like filler, right? But you never go in and expect the same,
Yeah.
uh, people and all that stuff, right? So and the thing is that one thing in Bendy that I always wish that they done is that the more deeper the levels you go, the more monstrous the characters you get, right?
Yeah.
Like in the upper levels, right? You obviously have like maybe the lost ones and like maybe a few cartoon creatures, but the lower you go, the more just messed up the creatures are.
Yeah.
And that's something I always wanted to do in Exit of Death, which is weird because you're supposed to be trying to go up to the top of the studio to exit. What the fuck are you doing at the bottom?
Yeah.
But yeah, you know,
You know. And so, one enemy type I really want to put in Exit of Death. It's like a combination of like the Searchers and the Butcher Gang members. They're not gonna be like Butcher Gang members, but you know what I mean. They're gonna be like corrupted cartoon members, but they like crawl around
yeah.
and stuff.
Oh yeah, that is true. Speaking of the Butcher Gang, that's an idea I had, right? Like obviously we're going to have like the normal Butcher Gang, right? The normal Butcher Gang. But I thought about having the three original Butcher Gangs become like mini bosses, right? So essentially, they're way different from the original Butcher Gang, right? So obviously you got Edgar. He's actually like a full freaking spider. Like he crawls on the ceiling. He has like ink webs and everything and all that stuff, right? And he hides in dark areas. You have Barley, right? Um, I don't know what I'm gonna do with Barley. I know Barley is like a fisher, a sailor, or whatever. So I might have him in like areas where there's just like a lot of ink. Maybe you have to fight him in like inky water in like a boat or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And for Edgar, or not for Edgar, but Charlie, I thought about Charlie being like the smartest one. Like he actually has a conscience. He actually could talk and everything, right? And maybe I
Mhm.
don't know. I need to figure out something with Charlie or something. But basically, I want it to be where Alice Angel is the one who messed up the Butcher Gang,
Mhm.
but then the Butcher Gang is also smart enough on their own to like, you know, I don't know. It's confusing, but basically, I kind of want the Butcher Gang to become more than just enemies.
Yeah.
Like they actually feel like a genuine threat. a gang, and maybe at the end of it we get like all three of them like trying to fight you at the same time, which would be a very fucking hard boss battle to program and everything. But you
Yeah.
know, it'd be cool.
I mean, like, imagine, you know, I mean, for like environmental assets, we should use Dark Revival assets. The fan game will be free, obviously,
Yeah.
but like we're still gonna need to like commission people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be a part of this. Like, so it's gonna have like a similar art style to.
Yeah. We can always make our own assets, but we're going to need to use Benny and the Dark Revival assets majority of the time, so that way we can cut on budget and save time.
Yeah, and I think like we can put characters from the comics and like our own OCs into this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mean like
Yeah.
OCs as in like the stuff I make, but I mean like OCs original to that AU. It's not going to be like canon to the actual Bendy verse. It's going to be our own universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you know this fan game. You know, like the reason like okay, we need to have like this fan game needs to have like a really large team, like not 50 people, but a larger team,
Obviously, yeah.
because like Joseph in the Cure for Sin, like you've seen that game before, right? It was
Yeah,
in done
yeah.
videos about it. It was a super ambitious fan game, right? And
Yeah.
even though it was never completed, it got pretty far. And the thing you got to know about that game was there was probably about maybe 4 people involved in that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there was just like one guy modeling everything.
Yeah, so it's not really a good idea, to have all that pressure onto them. Unless we're creating a small game, that's different, but yeah, we're going to need a lot more people, and we're going to need people who are ambitious of Bendy or whatever. Like, don't we already have Zomlord and Bowser? Like,
Yeah,
don't those two know? Okay,
you know.
so maybe we can get Nide or something to
Yeah,
help us.
that's what I'm trying to do. There's like another modeler that I'm looking at like right now who
Who is it?
I don't know how to pronounce their name, but it's like Taddy or something. I don't know how
Can
you
you
say their name.
can you send me like
Yeah, I'll
their
send you their
Twitter
Twitter.
or yeah?
But like I've been like keeping an eye like, and I'm friends with them. Like
Mm,
there's like another modeler too. I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce this dude's name, but he almost made like a Desolate Hallway model pack.
mm,
Um, I just didn't like the reason why it never got made was because like I'd never sent him like any refs and stuff.
mm.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna like there's like modelers I'm looking at for like characters. You know what I'm saying? And also
Mm.
there's people on like Fiverr we can commission too. You know what I'm saying? We just need to come up with like a really large budget. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And with the large budget, because like Joseph in the Cure for Sin, it didn't really have like a large budget, but it was like
yeah,
ambitious. Same with like Demon's Deception. If we have like a large budget, like a larger budget this time, I think we'd be able to push out like, you know, crazier titles and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Um, and so with with that, I think we can really expand the universe, like our universe. It's not gonna be the Meatly's universe, but it's gonna be our universe.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. All right. Um, shoot.
What should we talk about
Did
next?
we? I think we discussed everything we need to discuss about. You want to end the live stream?
I mean, we can. I mean, do you want? Okay, I have an idea. It's not a good idea.
Yeah.
But just hear me out. Okay?
Uh-huh.
We can come back in like 5 minutes, and I'm gonna play Garden of Ban 2.
Oh God, here we go.
Alright, so
Here we fucking
gonna
go.
end,
You're gonna actually buy it?
I'm gonna actually buy it.
Oh
And,
my God.
Alright. IHS, stay in the voice chat.
Gotcha.
I just need to end the live because I don't need people seeing my credit card information. Well, it's not really a credit card, it's a debit card. But you know what I mean. Alright. So, we're gonna play... We're gonna make myself suffer. Alright? Alright.